Hi, I'm Marcel Bernier with Murtha Kalina in Hartford. I know Mike because I'm a business transactional attorney, and from time to time my clients need his help with selling one of their businesses. Yeah, it's significantly different in that, unlike real estate where you have a multiple listing service and you can list all the businesses and everybody has this information, for whatever reason there is no such efficient market with the sale of a business, so you need somebody to actually identify buyers. I mean, sometimes the seller of the business is going to provide Mike with some people that he thinks he should be contacting, but in some manner Mike goes about finding other buyers that people just can't find. I mean, for example, the last transaction we worked on together, I recommended that my client contact Mike to help them with the sale. Mike found a married couple that were interested in buying a business, and it happened that this business was run by another married couple, and they got along great, and the price was perfect. It was more than they expected to receive, so somehow Mike generated a buyer that these people, as capable as they were at running their business, wouldn't have found without his help.
Hi, I'm Ken Cook. I'm the founder and managing director of Peer-to-Peer Advisors. My company basically brings together owners of businesses in well-matched groups, and they act as advisors for each other. Any given month, I'll interact with anywhere from 60 to 80 business owners across Connecticut and Rhode Island. And frequently, they come across challenges that require expert resources. In this instance, buying or selling a business. Most cases, selling the business. They ask me, who do you know? Who would you recommend? The number one rule for me is absolute trust in whoever I recommend, because I'm taking my relationship with my client and I'm putting it, quote, in jeopardy by bringing somebody else in. It's easy to give testimonials. You can do them online, you can write up LinkedIn endorsements, but I wanted to do this one in person for Mike and the folks at Touchstone Advisors for a very specific reason. They do two things that are very unique in the world of business brokerage. One, they're absolutely authentic and honest, and in what they say is what they deliver, and you can trust that. And they won't try and give the owner any false sense of what the business is worth, what the value is. Their experience shows them, if you're not upfront right at the beginning with what the value of the business is and what the timing of the sale is, then all you're going to do is have somebody that's going to be pissed off at you. And that's not good on any fronts. So Mike and the team are absolutely authentic on that regard. The second thing is that they build trust. They, by meaning what they say and saying what they mean, every time deliver on the line for the client. So that's the reason I'm doing this in person. I need people to understand that endorsements are easy, but authentic endorsements from the heart, as I feel from Mike and his team, they're the best you can get.
I think the operative word there is the process. He lays out a very rigorous step-by-step program as to how he's going to bring qualified buyers to the table, or on the buyer side, how he's going to provide information to you to help you make your decision. You know, I'm a repeat customer, so I appreciate process, and I appreciate sticking to your knitting, and he's been very helpful.
Well, Touchstone typically, as I said, I'm a commercial real estate service provider. Touchstone typically involves us at early stages of their process to try to determine what the value of the real estate is. Sometimes it makes sense to sell everything as a whole, both the business and the real estate, and sometimes to extract additional value, it makes sense to separate the parts because the sum of the parts is sometimes greater than the whole. You know, it's been a difficult economic environment over the last several years. I think a lot of businesses have had difficulty. Revenues aren't where they were, and there's less people out there looking to buy businesses. Having said that, you have to look a little harder for the right company. The companies where there are synergies, where you can get someone that, for whatever reason, that business is more valuable to them, perhaps, than the run-of-the-mill buyer. And I think that's what Touchstone does well, is they get in there and they really get in depth, and they're very experienced at the business side of it. Not just the marketing side, but also the business side, looking at the financial statements, analyzing them, looking for ways to increase efficiencies, improve balance sheets, and also sometimes looking for, as I said, the right buyer.
I run a program at UMass Amherst called the Family Business Center. It's one of 40 typical programs like that around the country. I met Mike when I started this program almost 20 years ago, and he was also in that field of advising family-owned businesses. I've known him through all the years that he has been a business intermediary. I recommend many people to him who are selling their business or even starting the process of thinking about buying or selling a business, because I find him to be incredibly ethical and insightful, and a person that can carry on the kind of conversation to help somebody have a really intelligent exploration of the process of buying or selling a company.
My name is Ross Sachs. Our business was a family business started in 1939 called the See-Through Ruler Company. It was started by my great aunt. There was several generations that worked there. I am the third generation, and my father and my brother also worked there as well. We decided to sell the business a few years back just for opportunities. My dad retiring, seeing changes in our marketplace, and looking for an opportunity to sell the business. Well, I mean, I think we were happy about the way that they were going to take us to market. They gave us a valuation for the business, what they thought, a range of where they thought they could get the business sold at, and the strategy of using a controlled auction was important because having more than one buyer in place, gives you a little bit more leverage, a little bit more control, and we like that part of the sale process. Well, Touchstone did a great job. I mean, part of we work with primarily with Jeff Rich, and Mike was a great advisor for us throughout the process. But Jeff, was the nitty-gritty, the day-to-day contact for us, and they really helped us get the best value that we could for the business.
Mike, as I mentioned, is very family-oriented. That's one of the core values that he brings to this business. And he's able to see the abilities of others. Everyone that I've worked with through Touchstone Advisors is very professional. They have the high level of integrity that Mike has. And that's very important, I know, for Mike and Touchstone Advisors. It can be somewhat of a commodity business, so what differentiates them? And I think it is that professionalism, that level of service that they provide to their clients, and that they're not just looking to make a transaction, to close a deal. It's much more than that. They're really out looking to really match the businesses up and create these win-win scenarios for everyone that's involved, for all parties that are involved.